Hello and welcome everyone. So today in this video we are going to continue our chapter that we have started about the key elements of a democratic government. Okay. So here our today's topic is need to resolve conflict. All right. Need to resolve conflict. So this is our topic for today. See, in this chapter what we have already learned is that how a government works, isn't it, how people participate, and we also learned about a story in the beginning of this chapter about Maya, isn't it, where Hector Peterson was been shot dead because they don't wanted to learn African language imposed to them by the white people, and they wanted to learn their own mother tongue, that is Zulu. But here what happens in that Maya story, conflict happens, isn't it? And when they started protesting, those black people, they were been shot dead. So such cases can be avoided. Okay, so how those cases can be avoided, we are going to see here under this topic. Okay, so here let us start. In Maya's story, you read about how conflict can often lead to violence and death. See, we came to know, isn't it, that Hector Peterson was been shot dead, and because one group decides that it is all right to use force to prevent the other groups from the protesting. Because in that case, what happened when you opted violence, then ultimate result is not always very good. Okay, there always results in violence, always results in destructions, destroy and death, especially death, isn't it? Destruction and destroys can be again replaced, but how can you replace the life of a person, isn't it? So that's why it is always safe for us to avoid violence. That is why during our independence period also, our freedom struggle, our freedom fighter, they always opted for non-violence because they know the result that the violence give, isn't it? And with that, what happened, we ultimately won also, isn't it? We won our independence as well. So here, okay, let us continue. But here in Maya's case, I hope you remember that story. If you forgot, then please do watch my previous video here regarding the key elements of a democratic government. Okay, so here what happens, conflict occurs when people of different cultures, religions, reason or economic background do not get along with each other, or when some among them feel they are being discriminated against. So conflict, so these are some of the conditions. Okay, these are some of the conditions given when there's a conflict arises. Okay, so when does it conflict arises? See, when you feel that when a particular people from a different religion, reason or gender, or in base of gender also, if they feel that they are being discriminated. Here in case of Maya story, we can take that they were being discriminated, the black people were being discriminated by the white people, and the black people were forced to speak the language of the white people. So there was a discrimination. So as a result, conflict arises. So these are some of the reason when conflict arises. Okay, and people may use violence means. Here also what happens, people have used violence means, isn't it? Violence means to settle their differences. So this leads to fear and tensions among others living in an area. The government is responsible for helping to resolve conflict. And what happens when there is a violence? See, when there is a violence between particular two religion, let us say, okay, two religion or two community in an area, but in that area what happens, other community are also living. Then what happens, say suppose this is a area, okay, and here too there is a conflict between these two community, but there are others community, other religions are also living. So what happens in case if there is a violence between these two, then there will be a fear among these people also, isn't it, among these people's mind also, and they will not be able to move freely. Because why? There will be environment of tensions and conflicts in and around going into this particular area. Okay, so let's read about some of the conflict in our society and the role the government in resolving them. So let us see some example here. Okay, like what are some of the conflicts that arises in our society, especially in India, and how government have stepped in to resolve those conflict. Okay, okay, let us see. All right. religious procession, see example here, okay, this is the example, religious procession and celebration can sometimes leads to conflict. How? Because the route a procession taking may lead to a conflict, because see, when there is some religion procession going on, okay, there are huge amount of people also going along with them, isn't it? And in case, for example, a same day, on a same day, a religious procession for Hindu and religious procession for Muslim is been held, then what happens in the way, if they are been encounter in the way, if they meet and the route to the procession becomes same, then conflict arises, because some people will always be telling that this is a religious thing, why you are coming from this route, that. So in that case, conflict arises. And what the government should do, particularly the police, see, it plays a very important role in getting representative of the concerned communities to meet and try and arrive at a solution. And whenever there is some kind of procession, some kind of rally or anything, you will be, I think you have noticed that there used to be police in and around, isn't it? And they are been ensuring that there no conflict is been taking place. So that is the role of the government, how they should be acting, okay, in order to provide a solution. So here also they will be in contact with the representative of the concerned communities, for example, representative of a Hindu or a representative of a Muslim. They will be like kind of connecting them, okay, they will connect him and they will try to resolve the problem and come to a solution. And at times there is a fear that violence may erupt, with people throwing stones or trying to disrupt the procession. And what happens, some people, they are very sentiments, isn't it, sentimental peoples or some anti-social peoples, you can say. What they used to do in case such things are been found, some procession are been found, like for example 2 processions are going on from the same route, then what happens, some anti-social peoples will started engage into violence, and what they will do, they will start by picking up stone and by throwing at the others community. And that what happened, there will be anger in the others group, and that group will also reply in violence by throwing back the stone. So that should be avoided here, okay. And here the police is completely responsible for ensuring that violence does not take place. So it is the duty of the police so that this violence will not take place. And this was one example, okay, this was one example. Another example you can see in case of rivers. See, this is a very serious example as well, okay, because it is happening not only within state, within country also, because there is a river Ganga, isn't it, sorry, not Ganga, Indus river, which starts flowing, which flows in both the country India as well as in Pakistan. So that also become a source of conflict. But here in your book, let us say in case of state, about the Kaveri river, okay. Rivers to become a source of conflict between states. A river may begin in one state, flow through another and end in a third. So it happens, isn't it? Because a river will, like, it will not determine its course out of the boundary of a country, because for the river everything is same and we cannot change the course of a river. So it may starts from one state and ends on another state as well. So and not it starts from first state. So see, it starts from first state, it can cross to second state, and it can end into this third stage, isn't it? So river can flow, it starts from these states and it goes into the second state as well, and end into this third state. So it depends on the river only, isn't it? Like, it depends on the course of the river. We cannot change the course of the river because water is essential for every one of us. So the sharing of river water between different states, see here 3 states are sharing, isn't it? 3 states are sharing here in this case, that goes through is becoming an issue of conflict. So it becomes an issue. Why? Because sometimes this state will be saying that I am not going to open up the dam here, isn't it? And this state will not be getting the water. So in that case, conflict arises. For example, here we will take about the Kaveri water conflict, okay, dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So what happens about this Kaveri water? This water stored in Krishna Raja's Sagar Dam in Karnataka is used for irrigation a number of districts and for meeting the needs of the city of Bengaluru. The water stored in Mittu Dam in Tamil Nadu is used for crops grown in the delta region of that state. So what happens? See, this river is providing irrigation facilities in Karnataka, isn't it? In Karnataka, in the Raja Sagar Dam, and many of the districts meeting the requirements, isn't it, the water requirements, and in case of Tamil Nadu also in Mettur Dam. So at conflict arises, both dams are on the same river, because these both dams are been constructed on the same river. Which river? That is the Kaveri river. Okay, and the downstream dam in Tamil Nadu can only be filled up if water is released from the upstream one located in Karnataka. So what happens? The downstream dam of this Tamil Nadu can only be filled when this Karnataka dam, they open up the dam, then water, when they release the water from there. So sometimes what happen, they disagree to release that water, and that results into conflict. Therefore both states cannot get as much as they need for people in their states. This leads to conflict, and the central government has to step in and see that a fair distribution is worked out for both states. See, water is available for everyone, and it should not be like a state cannot claim that if water flows within them, then that water belongs only to them. It belongs to all the people who are living in and around, isn't it? Not only in the state, in and around the state. So they should consider their neighboring state or country also, that they are been, the water has been essential for living, isn't it? So here issue happens. Why? Because the Karnataka dam, they refused to release the water, and the Tamil Nadu dam, they required the water. So in that case conflict arises between them, and here what happens, the government will step up and will see, and when they stepped up, what happened, they will see a fair distribution is been taken up. Okay, a fair distribution is been taken up for the distribution of what? For distribution of water by both the states. So this was about the how government used to solve the conflict. Okay, next we will see about equality. See, here you can see these river, okay, quiet flow of the Kaveris despite being at the center of the hatred conflict between two states for last 30 years. See how beautiful it is, isn't it, this river? Okay, so next, our last topic for this chapter today, it is equality and justice. Okay, see how equality is justice is been provided. It has been provided, see, especially for to the one who were been discriminated for a prolonged period of time in the India because of what? Because of caste system and because of patriarchal society, isn't it? Women were also been disrespected. They were not been allowed to be allowed for education. They were not allowed to work. They were not allowed, they were only meant for like living within the four walls of the house, for cooking and doing other chores and taking care of the baby, giving birth. Only for that purpose women were being looked upon, isn't it? But now what happened? Equality is given to everyone. So here let us see about that topic. Okay, equality and justice. One of the key ideas of a democratic government is its commitment to equality and justice. See, it happens only in case of a democratic government. There is equality, isn't it? After independence, what happened? In India, the constitution have declared that everyone is equal in the eye of law. No one will be deprived, whether rich or poor. Everyone is equal, and there should be fair distribution of everything to everyone, especially the caste system and all, everything has been abolished. And here what happens? Equality and justice are inseparable. So why? When there is an equality, there is justice, isn't it? When you feel that you are equal within a country or within a society, then you are being justified, isn't it? You feel very okay, I am okay with everything, isn't it? So you are feel, then justice is always there. So here let us see, in earlier practice of untouchability is now, the earlier practice of untouchability is now banned by law, isn't it? Under Article 17 it has been banned, isn't it? So this group of people were denied education, transport or medical facilities, and even the chance of offer prayers, isn't it? So these groups were not allowed to enter into the temple of the upper caste people, so-called upper caste people during that time, and they were not given education also. And in case some education, if they were allowed to sit in a classroom, then what happens? They used to make them sit separately. They are not allowed to mingle with the upper caste people, upper class child, isn't it? And in case of transport also, in case of our previous chapter, if you remember, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he himself was been denied of transport, isn't it? They were not despite they were able to give money, they were not been dropped to their place, that was Koregaon, isn't it? If you remember that chapter, and other medical facilities as well. Okay, so this discrimination leads to inequality and hatred among the people. So what they do, with the establishment of the constitution, the leaders felt that equality, everyone should be given, if everyone should be equal, otherwise our society will be degraded if it continues on dividing in this way. So Dr. Ambedkar, who we have read in earliest book, here if we have read, isn't it? So many others like him realized that such practice must not continue, and justice can only be achieved when people are treated equally. So justice can only achieved when people are being treated equally. So our leaders realized that, okay, and what happened? They recognize everyone as equal. The government also recognize these and make special provisions for group within society that are unequal. So there are some special provisions given for the one who have been discriminated for a prolonged period of time, okay, by giving them, for example, by giving them the ST and SC group, by giving them quotas, isn't it, to make them uplift, to giving them a chance to develop themselves, okay, which were been taken from there by our society. For instance, in our society, there is a general tendency to value and care for the boy child more than the girl child. See, this is also important. Here what happens, everyone wanted boy child, but they don't wanted girl child. Why? Because still the system of dowry system, these this happens in our society, and in case a girl is born, you will be educating her, you will be doing her everything. This is the mentality of people, okay. This is the mentality that you will be educating her, you will be providing her food and everything you are going to provide her, and in while giving her to other boy, that is while marriage, again you have to give a whole huge amount of money that the boy family will be demanding. That is the dowry system, okay. So because of that, so many parents, they don't wanted girl child, okay, they wanted boy, because if boy child comes, then what happen, they will bring all the dowry from here, isn't it? So that's why this dowry system is also been abolished, but still this practice is going on and it has been considered as a crime as well, okay. We should not practice this dowry system. So that's why girl child are not valued, okay, and that is why determination of gender during pregnancy is also been considered as a crime, isn't it? You are not allowed to know like whether you are carrying a baby girl or a baby boy while you are pregnant in India. Otherwise, in other country, you will be knowing when you are pregnant after 4 months, you will know whether you are carrying a girl or a boy, because there such killing of that baby girl or child doesn't happen. In case here in India, what happens, they used to do they used to abort the baby in case if they came to know that the baby is a girl. So here what happens, this society does not value the girl and boy child equally, and this is unjust, isn't it? When you are discriminating between a girl and a boy, baby girl and baby boy, because they are not even born also, isn't it? When they are not even born, you started discriminating against them, so that is unjust. So in this context, the government steps into to promote justice. So what the government will do now, by providing special provision to girls, okay, and can enables to girls overcome the injustice that they are subjected to. Thus, it is possible that fees for a girl might be waived, okay, like it can be lowered a little bit, okay, might be waived or lowered in a government school or college. So you see that there is a quota for a single girl child also, isn't it? And apart from that, there are many such provisions given to women as well. So why these provisions are given? In order to make them equal, in order to balance the inequality which has been created by the society for a prolonged period of time. So with this, we have completed the 4th chapter, okay. You, if before you go, you comment down today's topic, okay, comment down your thoughts on today's topic, so that and you also tell me whether you understood or not, okay. And if you like my video, do like and share, okay, like and subscribe as well, and don't forget to hit the bell button so that you will not miss any updates. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this chapter is clear, okay. I'll come with you with another chapter, okay. Thank you for watching again. See you in next video.